Okay, guys, we're going to learn something very beautiful in this class, and we're going to look at everything about the nervous system from the beginning to the end. If you are ready, we're going to flow together as we look at the nervous system from the very first beginning to the end. And we're going to look at a whole lot of things under the nervous system, what we should know. Are you ready? If you want to know this chapter in depth, it's a series of classes. Ensure you follow everything from the beginning to the end. Well, let's go. So this is our lesson 1 under the nervous system, right? Let's look at the introduction to the nervous system. So in the introduction first, I'd like you to note this very quickly and never forget this. You know, if they say nervous system, I'd like you to picture it this way. If you look at a car, what the engine is to the car is what the nervous system is to the body. In other words, the engine of the body, let me put it that way, is the nervous system. So what is nervous system? Nervous system is the body's control. So the body's control and communication network is the nervous system. So what is nervous system? It is the body's control and communication network. What is it made up of? 3 things. Number 1 is called the brain. Number 2 is called the spinal cord. And then number 3 are the peripheral nerves. So these 3 things, they come together to make up the nervous system. So what is nervous system? It is the body's control and communication network. The body's control and communication network. What is it? Nervous system. What is it made up of? The brain, the spinal cord, and the peripheral nerve. Like I said, it's just like, for instance, now, let's say you have a car, and then that car, let's say the engine of the car is bad. Will the car function? No, the car is not going to function. But if the side mirror is not on the car, will the car function? Yes. The only challenge is that the function of the side mirror will not be carried out. Same thing for your nervous system. Nervous system is like the engine of the car because it is the body's control. What controls the body and ensure that there is communication is the nervous system. And what is it made up of? 3 things: the brain, the spinal cord, and the peripheral nerves. If you get that very fast with me, I'd like you to note this, that in multicellular organisms, what are multicellular organisms? Many-celled organisms. What happens is that all the systems, they work together as a team. So digestive system is carrying out its function, right? But it is working with the excretory system. Excretory system is working with circulatory, working with reproductive system. All of them, they are working together as a team. Why? So that their functions can be achieved or realized. In other words, no system of the body functions independently. No, it doesn't work that way. So coordination is necessary. There is need for proper coordination, right? For proper functioning in the body. And you must understand this, that information, the ones we call messages, what happen? They pass to a coordinator. In other words, there is need for a coordinator, and that coordinator, right, in the human body is more like the brain, because one of the major components of the nervous system is the brain, and as we get there, we're going to see it now. So information or messages, they pass to a coordinator from various parts of the organism. So different parts of the organism are sending messages. There is need for that message to be well coordinated. Are you getting it now? So there is need for coordination, in fact, within the organism itself, and then with the organism and the external environment. So what is the coordinator there? It is the part of the nervous system. And you must understand that this coordinator processes the information that is sent to it. After processing it, it analyzes them and then send response to other parts of the body so that they will know exactly what they need to do. If you get that very fast with me, take note that systems like what? Your respiratory system, whether it is respiratory system, whether it is circulatory system, or muscular system, or skeletal system, or excretory system, all of them must work together. So nobody is functioning in isolation. And take note that their activities are coordinated by 2 major systems of the body. Number 1, which is the chief one, is the nervous system. And then number 2 is the endocrine system. So as we move further, when we are done with nervous system, we're still going to learn another system, which is your endocrine system under endocrinology. Are you seeing it now? So the systems that are in charge of regulation and communication, majorly your nervous system and your endocrine system. To get that very fast, let's look at nervous system. So what is the definition of nervous system? How do you define nervous system? Just go straight. Tell us this. That nervous system is the specialized network of cells and organs. Jejely. What is nervous system? The specialized network So it is a network, a concatenation of cells and organs in the body that does what? Number one, they detect stimuli. Number two, they process information. And number three, they coordinate responses. Sapita, talk to me. So, nervous system, they detect stimuli, they process information, and they coordinate responses. So, we said that nervous system is the specialized network. So, the specialized network of cells and organs that carry these three things are what we call your nervous system. Let me warn you down, all your ears, and understand this. You can't say you are a medic, right? You want to be a medical student, right? And then you don't know these things to the core. It means you are so shabby. Your foundation is poor. Are you seeing it now? So these things must be part of you. They must be integral part of you. As we proceed, you see a lot of things you are going to be looking at. You will see exam questions. Even yourself, you'll be shocked. So nervous system is the specialized network of cells and organs that detect stimuli. Number one, they process information. Number three, they do what? They coordinate responses. If you get this very fast, please, I'd like you to know this, that the nervous system consists of what? The brain, the spinal cord, and your nerves. Your brain, your spinal cords, your nerves. So I'm going to learn brain, or learn spinal cord. We'll look at other different nerves of the body. And as a result of that, there are 4 things you must know that the nervous system perform. Number one, they receive stimuli. So if I touch you now, what happened? Stimuli has to be sent, right? Or information. Those sensory information that is going, they are sent in the form of your what? Your stimuli. So what receives stimuli or stimulus, right, is the what? The nervous system. So nervous system does what? Number one, receives stimuli. Number two, it processes information. So if it receives the stimuli, right, what happened? It need to process it. So nervous system does what? Processes information. Number two. Number three, nervous system produces response. It will tell you exactly what to do. It produces response. And then number three, it coordinates body's activity. So these 4 things are the major things that the nervous system carry out. Number one, it does what? It receives stimuli. Number two, it does what? It processes information. Number three, it does what? It produces response. And then number 4, it coordinates the body's activities. If you get this very fast with me, that means you are good to go. What are the divisions of the nervous system? So when we hear nervous system, how many parts is it divided into? The nervous system is divided into 2. Number one is called the central nervous system. What is it? Central, CNS. When you show your CNS, what is CNS? Central nervous system. Number 2 is called the peripheral nervous system, your PNS, and CNS. So the CNS is the central nervous system. The PNS is what? The peripheral nervous system. Which one is the CNS? The central nervous system. What does it do? First, central nervous system is made up of 2 things: the brain and the spinal cord. Let it vibe inside of you. Central nervous system is made up of how many things? 2 things: the brain and the spinal cord. I like you to know these things in depth. Sapi, I know it. It's in my head. If you can't say it, you don't know it. Until you can say it enough, you don't know it well enough. Central nervous system is made up of what? The brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is made up of other nerves that are outside of the central nervous system. So every other thing outside of the central nervous system, what is it? The peripheral, outside of the central nervous system. The central, the brain, and the spinal cord. These guys are central. Now look at this very fast. Again, central nervous system, we said nervous system divided into 2, the central and the peripheral. Central itself, how many are they? 2. What and what? The brain and the spinal cord. Are you ready with me? Let's go together. So we are going to learn everything about the brain. When we are done with the brain, we are going to move into the spinal cord. Can we start with the brain? Yes. So where is the brain out of these 2? This guy here is the brain. This guy here is the skull. So you can see that the 2 of them are 2 different things. So the difference between the brain and the skull. In fact, there's also what is called your brain box or the cranium. So now look at this very fast. It's just like you come to the chest cavity or the thoracic region. What happens in this thoracic region? Number one, you have your rib cage, right? You have your rib cage. Inside your rib cage, sure, the heart is there, but you don't just see the heart like that. No, it's not just there like that. There is a fibrocerous sheet that protects the heart. That is called the pericardium. So aside the rib cage, which is the bony framework, right, or the skeletal architecture, there is also the what? The pericardium. Same thing when you come to the brain. It's not that when you just say brain like that, just say a skull after brain, what is protecting it is the skull. No, there is the cranium or the brain box that envelopes or protects the brain. And that brain and the cranium now, they are now inside of the skull. Are you seeing it now? So very quickly, when we're looking at the brain, what must we know about the brain? Number one, the brain is the most specialized organ of the body. So among the entire organs in the human body, which one is the most specialized, highly advanced? It is the brain. So the brain is the most specialized organ of the body, number one. Number two, the brain has a weight of 1.4 kilograms in an average adult. What is the weight of the brain? 1.4 kg is the average weight of the what? The brain. And then number three, the brain is made up of millions of neurons. Millions of neurons. Millions. Are you seeing it now? So three things. The brain is the what? Most specialized organ of the body. Number one. What is the average weight of the brain? Average weight is what? 1.4 kilogram. And then number three, the brain is made up of what? Millions of what? Neurons. These three things must be inside of you. And I'd like you to never forget this very fast. The brain has some special protection. So aside the skull that protects the brain, there is also what we call your what? Your meninges. What do I call them? Meninges. Now listen, get the spelling very well. It is the meninges. Are you seeing it now? The meninges. So how many meninges do we have? Altogether, we just call of them meninges, which is one sweet name that we gave them, right? So how many meninges? There are three of them. So there are three membranes that come together to form the meninges. And what are the three membranes? Number one is called the dura mater. What is it called? Dura mater. In fact, there's an acronym I gave it. It's called PAD. What is it? PAD. So the inner one, right, is the pia. This is the P. P is the inner. D is the outer. So if I'm going this way, I'm moving from where? Inner to where? Outer. So the P there is the first, which is the inner, but the last one is the D. So let's start from the outer, which is the dura. Why do we call it dura? It is very durable. Something that is durable is dura. So dura is the outer strong protective membrane. Are you seeing it now? I said there are three membranes that come together to protect the brain itself. In fact, before you even get to the cranium, right, after the brain, you will see your meninges before the cranium. So after the cranium, before you now come to the skull. So you are seeing it now. So now this is it now. Let's say this is the brain. After the brain, where will you get to? We will get to the what? The meninges, right? The meninges. After the meninges, so will we get to? We'll get to the way cranium. After cranium, where are we coming to now? We'll now come to the way to the skull. Share you are seeing the way they are arranged. So number one is the what? In your meninges, number one is the what? The dura mater. It is very, very what? Durable, from the name dura. It is the outer strong protective layer. That's how we call it, the what? The dura mater. Number two, A, is the what? Arachnoid. Arachnoid. What is it called? Arachnoid matter. What is it about the arachnoid matter? So it is the middle, elastic and what? Fibrous. It is in the middle. It is elastic. It is fibrous. Arachnoid matter. Number three is the one we call your what? Your pia matter. What is it? Pia matter. Pia matter is the inner. It is delicate. It is rich in blood vessels. Because it is rich in blood vessels, we say it is highly vascularized. What is it? Highly what? Vascularized. Anything that is rich in blood vessels and capillaries is highly vascularized. So give me the three membranes that form the meninges. Number one is called the what? The dura mater. Dura, from the name, it is the outer membrane. It is what? Strong and what? Durable. It is the protective membrane. Are you seeing it now? Number two is called the arachnoid matter. Arachnoid, it is the middle guy. Because it is middle, it is elastic. It is also what? Fibrous. And then number three is the what? The pia matter. Pia is the inner. It is delicate. It is rich in what? Blood vessels. Now look at this guy. Arachnoid, say it is elastic. Why is he elastic? Why should he be elastic? Because between the arachnoid matter and the pia matter is a fluid that we call the CSF. What is it called? CSF. Now don't forget this. The CSF is the short form for cerebrospinal fluid. Pronounce it with me. Cerebrospinal fluid. So all these things must be inside of you. So there's what is called the cerebrospinal fluid, which is the CSF, right? It is the fluid that you see in between the pia mater and the arachnoid matter. That's why you see that arachnoid matter is elastic to give room for what? To give him for what? Expansion. Are you seeing it now? Because of the presence of your cerebrospinal fluid, which is the CSF. Please, if they ask you, which fluid do you have in the brain? Majorly, what should come into your mind? CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. That's what they ask majorly. Are you seeing it now? It is found between the arachnoid matter and the pia matter. Where is it? In the what? In the meninges. If you get that very fast with me and you understand it to the core, it's not about rushing video, so it's understanding. If you understand this to the core, let's fire down. Look at this diagram. Let me explain something lovely here. The first thing I want you to catch, right, is your pad. The P here is the inner one. This guy is the outer. So pia matter, the inner. After pia matter, what do we have? Arachnoid matter. Then the what is dura matter? That's the meninges, right? So after the meninges, don't forget that brain will be somewhere around this area. After the meninges, what do you now have? Cranium. So in fact, after the cranium, there's also what is called the periosteum before the skin. That means the periosteum there is forming like the skull. Are you seeing it now? So this guy is like the bony architecture, which is the skull there. If you get that very fast with me, what are the major parts of the brain? There are parts of the brain. There are a whole lot, but we're going to dwell on the major. What are we dwelling on? Major. These major parts, they include the following. There are 3 of them. Number 1 is called the forebrain. Sapita, talk to me. Number 1 is the what? The forebrain. Number 2 is called the midbrain. And then number 3 is called the hindbrain. So we have the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. These 3 of them, right? They are like major, let's call it divisions of the brain. So that means the 3 of them again are what? The forebrain, the midbrain, the hindbrain. Can we look at them one after the other? From the name forebrain, so it should have 4 parts. Yes, so there are 4. What are the 4? Number 1 is called the olfactory lobes. What is it called? Olfactory lobes. Number 2, cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere. What is it called? Cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere. Number 1, olfactory lobe. Number 2, cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere. Number 3 is called the thalamus. And then number 4 is called the what? Hypothalamus. You see these 4 things. If you forget them, I go look for you. Anywhere you like it should be, I'll not you forget it. The olfactory lobes, the cerebrum or the cerebral hemisphere, the thalamus, and the hypothalamus. In fact, there is a 5th one that we're going to add. It's called the pineal body. What is it called? Pineal body. What is it called? The pineal body, right? Or the pineal gland. Either you call it pineal body or you call it pineal gland. I'm going to explain. They don't really... But once you see some questions from there. So, but you see olfactory lobe, cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere, thalamus, hypothalamus, you must know them to the core. In your midbrain is only one. Which one is that? Optic lobe is in the midbrain. Optic lobe. We're going to learn them. And then in the hindbrain, there are 3 of them. What are the 3 of them there? Number 1 is called the cerebellum. What is it called? Cerebellum. Cerebellum is different from cerebrum. Cerebrum is in the where? The forebrain. Cerebellum is in the hindbrain. So we have the cerebellum. Number 2, we have what is called the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. And then number 3 is one we call your pons varoli. Your pons what? Varoli. Your pons what? Varoli. Now, mention the various parts for me. Under your forebrain, there are 4 of them there. The olfactory lobe, the cerebrum or the cerebral hemisphere, the thalamus and the hypothalamus. In addition to it is the pineal body. In your midbrain is the optic lobe. In your hindbrain, there are 3 of them there. The cerebrum, the cerebellum, not cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, and the pons what? Varoli. Are we ready to look at them one after the other? Oh yes. So I'm going to start with the first. In your forebrain, what is that? Olfactory lobe. So we're going to start with in the forebrain. But before we go there, let me show you something here. From this diagram, what can we analyze? In fact, this is the brain of a rat. Brain of what? Rat. Your ratus. So what should we see here? Number 1 is the olfactory lobe. This up guy, there are 2. Shebi, they are, you can see them at the top. That's the olfactory lobe there. So this is number 1, olfactory lobe. Number 2 is the cerebral hemisphere. The one we call the cerebrum, right? The cerebrum, which forms the cerebral hemisphere. In fact, there are 2. There's the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere. As though that is not even all. You must also note this, that we can divide it into the anterior cerebral hemisphere and the posterior cerebral hemisphere as well. But all of them, what do we call them? Cerebral hemisphere, or the cerebrum. That's number 2. Number 3 is called the pineal gland. You can see it here. The pineal gland is there. Aside the pineal gland, you can see the olfactory lobe. Olfactory lobe is there. In fact, let's dwell on the major things. Look at this guy here, cerebellum. Cerebellum. That's where cerebellum is. No, cerebellum. That's where it is. Number 5. Look at the medulla oblongata. Here you can see it where it is. After the cerebellum, when you come down, you see the word, the medulla oblongata. Before you can come and talk about the word, the spinal cord. The spinal cord. Before you talk about it. As we move, I'll talk about spinal nerves, but it's not yet time for it. Hey, Sir Peter, talk to me. Look at this very quickly. Look at this. From this, what can we say? You can see that there are different lobes, right, of the brain. Different lobes. In fact, majorly, that's for the forebrain there. This is the frontal lobe of the brain. Here is the frontal lobe. The result is called the parietal lobe. Parietal. We have the parietal lobe. It's also there. Now, all of these are on the way, on the cerebrum. The cerebrum. Are you seeing it now? And then there is temporal lobe. Temporal lobe is also there. You can see the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe is at the back of the head, your back of your head. That's where you have the word the occipital lobe. Are you seeing it now? And then there is what is called the brain stem. What do I call it? In fact, before I go to brain stem, it's what is called your cerebellum. This is your cerebellum there, or your little brain. Another name for cerebellum is what? Little brain. Now there's what is called your brain stem. What is brain stem made up of? Number 1 is called the midbrain. Number 2 is called the pons. Number 3 is called the what? The medulla oblongata. Pay attention. Your brainstem, what should you remember? Remember MPM. What's MPM? Your midbrain, your pons varoli, and the medulla oblongata. The 3 of them make up the brainstem. It's different from hindbrain. Oh. In your hindbrain, what do we have? We have the cerebellum, number 1. Number 2, the medulla oblongata. Number 3, the pons varoli. That one is hindbrain. But your brainstem, constant exam question, which of the following is not part of the brainstem? You can see that cerebellum is not part of the brainstem. That's the answer. Hey, which one is not part of brainstem? Cerebellum is not part of the brainstem. Brainstem is made up of 3 things: the midbrain, the pons varoli, and the medulla oblongata. But MPN, what's MPM? There, it is what? The brainstem, midbrain, pons varoli, medulla oblongata. But the hindbrain, how many are there? There are still 3 of them. What are the 3 of them there? The cerebellum is there. The pons varoli, and then the what? The medulla oblongata. These 3 of them, you must know them to the core. If you get that very fast, let's rock the first part, olfactory lobe. So what must I know about the olfactory lobe from the beginning to the end? First, if you hear the word olfactory, is for smell. But take note that the olfactory lobe, they are the 2 small structures located anteriorly on the cerebrum. I'm still going to remind you, the 2 small structures located anteriorly on the cerebrum. What do we call that? Olfactory lobe. And don't forget the functions of olfactory lobe. Number 1, they receive sensory impulses from the olfactory organ. What's the olfactory organ? The nose is the what? The olfactory organ. What receives those impulses from the olfactory organ? It is the what? The olfactory lobe, and it will be wired via the olfactory nerve. So the olfactory nerve is what we transfer those sensory impulses to the where? To the olfactory lobe. So olfactory lobe, it is part of the brain, but the olfactory organ is the nose. So the nose carry the smell, pass it through the olfactory nerve to the olfactory lobe of the brain. Does it make sense? Number 2, very quickly, don't forget this, that the olfactory lobe is responsible for smell. The sense of smell is the olfactory lobe. It is responsible for the sense of smell, making the animal to be aware of what? Odors in the environment. You know, there are some people that have dry olfactory lobe, that even if somebody poo-poo and somebody release gas, flatulence gas, right? In their presence, they don't perceive anything. They are not perceiving anything. Why? Olfactory lobe. Hey, are you seeing it now? Now, please, very quickly, what are the 2 functions of the olfactory lobe? Number 1, they receive sensory impulses from the olfactory organ. That's number 1. Number 2, they are responsible for the sense of smell, thereby making the organism to be aware of their environment. Does it make sense? You get that very fast with me? Please, I'd like you to note this. Where is the olfactory lobe? This guy here that you can see, that's the olfactory lobe. Those 2 small guys, right, on top of the the cerebrum. That's the olfactory lobe. You get that very fast with me? Number 2 is called the cerebrum. What should I know about the cerebrum? Very important. Number one, the cerebrum is the largest and most dominant part of the brain. Let it stick in. What's the largest and the most dominant part of the brain? It is called the cerebrum. Number one. In fact, sure, you are seeing all these guys you are seeing here like this. All these guys you are seeing like this, right? All these guys, the largest, the most dominant. Was that? It is the what? The cerebrum. Number two, the cerebrum occupies the upper portion of the cranial cavity. The cranial cavity, what occupies the upper portion of it? It is the what? The cerebrum. It occupies the upper portion of the cranial cavity. Number one, it is the dominant part of the brain. It occupies the upper part of the cranial what? Cavity. Number three, it is divided into two hemispheres by the median fissure. Come, where are the two hemispheres? You can see this guy is one hemisphere. This guy is another hemisphere. Abi, powerful. So here now is the what? The right cerebral hemisphere, and here is the what? Left cerebral what? Hemisphere. So how many hemispheres do we have? There are two of them. The right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere. These are the two hemispheres that we have in the brain. Are you seeing it now? So now, as aside the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere, you can see that there is like a middle demarcation. There is like a line, something that demarcates it, right? There is that gap in between the two of them. What is it called? It is called the median fissure. What is it called? The median fissure. So here is the what? The median what? Fissure. That's what we have there. So again, the cerebrum, I've given you three things. Number one, it is the largest and dominant part of the brain, the most dominant part of the brain. Number two, it occupies the upper portion of the cranial cavity. Number three, it is divided into what? Two halves, right? Or hemispheres by the what? Median fissure. Does it make sense? Are you sure? Number four, very quickly, that you must know, the two halves now, right, are connected by a bundle of fibers. So there is need for something to connect the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere together. While we connect it, it is a bundle of fibers. That fiber is called your corpus callosum. What is it called? The corpus callosum. So the corpus callosum connects the right cerebral hemisphere to the left cerebral hemisphere because there is need for them to communicate. Are you seeing it now? So when we connect the two of them, it is the corpus callosum, the bundle of fibers that connect the right cerebral hemisphere with the left cerebral hemisphere. It's called the what? The corpus callosum. Number five, the cerebral cortex. When you just hear cerebrum, right, and then you now hear cortex, there is medulla. I will explain, but majorly we make use of cortex majorly there. So the cerebral cortex is the outer surface. So if you hold the cerebrum, if you hold your brain and you're looking at it, the cerebrum has the outer part and the inner part. So the outer part is called the cortex. The outer cortex of the cerebrum, which is the cerebral cortex, right? It is deeply folded or convoluted. You can see foldings like this, right? All these foldings are the ones we call the word the convolution. It is deeply folded or what? Convoluted, thereby increasing the surface area. So what helps to increase surface area of the brain, right? It is the word the convolution of the what? The cerebral cortex. In fact, intelligence reflects by the high convolution of the brain. Are you getting it now? And don't forget this quickly, that the cortex, which is the cerebral cortex, consists of gray matter. What does it consist of? Gray matter. Constant questions for pursuit TME. The cortex, the cerebral cortex, is it gray matter or white matter? Gray matter. Why? Because it contains the cell bodies of neurons. Cell bodies are the ones we call your soma. As we proceed, you see those things together. We see them together. Cell bodies are the ones we call the soma. So when we look at the cerebral cortex, right, the cerebral cortex, is it made up of gray matter or white matter? It is made up of what? Gray matter. If I forget it. Why the inner parts of the cerebrum is made up of what? White matter. Why is it white? It is white because of the presence of axons, which are the nerve fibers there. So once you just hear cortex, what is it made up of? Is it gray matter or white matter? Gray matter. Why is it made up of gray matter? The cerebral cortex is made up of gray matter because of the presence of your what? Your cell bodies or soma. That's what you see there. Why the inner part of the cerebrum is made up of what? White matter because of the presence of your what? Your axons. That's the answer. You're out of there. Does it make sense? Are you sure? If you get that very fast, again, how many things have I given you? About 6 or 7 of them. So let's go. Number one, we said that the cerebrum is the most dominant part of the brain. That's number one. Number two, it occupies the upper portion of the cranial cavity. Number three, it is divided into two halves: the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere. And what divides it into two is called the median fissure. So this guy here, what do we call that? The median fissure. And what connects the two of them together? It is a bundle of fibers called the corpus callosum. And then we said that the cerebral cortex is highly folded. You can see foldings there, right? That foldings are the ones we call your convolution, and that helps to increase the surface area of it, right? And the cortex of the cerebrum, which is the cerebral cortex, is made up of your gray matter. Why is it made up of gray matter? Because of the presence of your cell bodies or your soma. The inner part is made up of your white matter because of the presence of your axons. Sure, we have treated all of these things. Powerful. What is the functions, or what are the functions of the cerebrum? When we come to their functions, Sir Peter, talk to me. Number one, don't forget this, that the cerebrum is the seat of consciousness. The seat of consciousness. What makes you to be conscious of your environment? It is the cerebrum, number one. Number two, it is the seat of intelligence. Intelligence. There are some people that are gifted. They are cerebral. Why? Because of the presence of the cerebrum. It is the seat of intelligence. It is the seat of memory. Memory. Your ability to recall, right? It is the seat of memory. It is the seat of judgment. There are some people that have sound judgment. Sound. When they are to deliberate over a matter, they give sound judgment. Why? Cerebrum. It is the seat of learning. Learning. Cerebrum. Develop your cerebrum. Let it be highly developed. Right? It is the seat of learning. It is the seat of imagination. There are some people that like their imagination mind, their imagination level is high. It is out of this world order of imagination. When they sit down, they bet unimaginable and creative ideas. Why? Because of their imagination, by cerebrum. It is the seat of imagination. Another thing, it is the seat of sensory interpretations. All of these are the functions of the cerebrum. Another function of the cerebrum, number two, it controls voluntary actions. Voluntary. Let me stand up and go and open my fridge. It is voluntary. What controls it? It is the cerebrum. Let me go and carry my book and study. It is voluntary. What controls that is the cerebrum. And don't forget this, that it collects and stores information. What collects and stores, so that you can bring it back, right? You can always recall of those things. What is it? Cerebrum, right? It collects and stores information from sense organs. Now, as you are watching this class via your phone, you are looking at me eyeball to eyeball, right? Your eyes are picking sensory impulses. That's how we say that the cerebrum collects and stores information from the sense organs. Eyes, sense organs. Ears, sense organs. As I'm teaching, you are feeling it. Sense organs. Are you seeing it now? You can tell that, this class sweet die. Sense organs. Are you seeing it now? So learning, behavior, all of these things, cerebrum is in charge. Are you seeing it now? So get that very fast with me. Again, I beg you, very importantly, catch this with me. From this diagram, what can we analyze? Number one, you can see the skin. Okay, let's say the skin. Number two, the cranium, right? I've explained cranium or brain box to you. You can see your cerebrum, right? Beautiful. Now, but what protects the cerebrum? They are the meninges. How many are the meninges? There are three of them there. The PAD is the acronym from inner to outer. The pia matter, the arachnoid matter, and the dura matter, right? And then you can see there is white matter in the cerebrum. This white matter, the inner, is in the inner part of the cerebrum or the outer? The one that is at the outer is the gray matter. Gray matter is at the cortex. That's the cerebral cortex. You can see all those guys like this here. These guys are the gray matter. The inner one is the white matter, right? And then there are nerve fibers there, cerebellum. We'll talk about cerebellum as we proceed, right? Corpus callosum. What does corpus callosum do? Corpus callosum, what does it do? It connects the right and the left cerebral hemispheres together, and then you can see your thalamus is there. There is hypothalamus, there is pituitary gland, there is pons varoli, medulla oblongata, cervical bones, spinal cord, and so on and so forth. As we move, I will explain them intricate in details. You get this and you understand it to the core. Again, very important. Look at this question. WAEC 2007 question 24. The same question that was asked in Jamb 2001 question 12. The suit question says, the center for learning and memory in the human brain, learning and memory. Is it medulla oblongata? Is it cerebellum? Cerebrum. Oh, Fatulo boy is the answer. Cerebrum. Option was C. You are out of there. Very simple. You get that very fast. In 2017, question 18, look at this powerful question. The part of the central nervous system, Tracy's central nervous system, that is concerned with answering an exam question. Where is it? Is it the cerebellum? Is it the cerebrum? Is it the medulla oblongata or the spinal cord? What is it? It is the cerebrum, not the cerebellum. What is the answer? Option what? A is the answer. You're out of there. Cerebrum, not cerebellum. Some people will say the answer is medulla oblongata. Show you the wine. Show you the wine. This hand is highly wrong. And you see it now. So get that very fast with me. Please, the next is called your what? Your thalamus. We are done with everything about cerebrum. This says you must know them. In your thalamus, what should I know about thalamus? Look at this very fast. Yeah, it's your thalamus. So thalamus is the gateway to the brain. The gateway to the brain is the thalamus. What is thalamus? It is located above the midbrain. That's number one. Thalamus above the midbrain. Number two, thalamus contains masses of gray matter. So what do we have in thalamus majorly? Gray matter, more of gray matter. So we have in the thalamus. And then the functions of thalamus. What are they? When it comes to the functions of thalamus, number one, don't forget that it is the center for sensation. Center of what? Sensation, such as pain, touch, anger. Thalamus is the one in charge. Number two, thalamus directs sensory impulses from the spinal cord and lower brain to the cerebrum. Come, let me explain something here. Anything that must go to the cerebrum, it has to pass through thalamus first. That's why he said that it is the gateway. You know, the brain is the one in charge of learning, memory, and so on and so forth. It has to pass through thalamus first. That's why I say it is the gateway of the brain, thalamus, right? So thalamus directs sensory impulses. Now, as you are seeing me now, your brain is interpreting that, oh, this is a P, not Saemi. How come that your brain can interpret it? Because as you are seeing me, sensory informations are going into your eyes, right? The eyes will pick them, send it to the what? Optic nerve that will take it to the optic lobe of the brain where it is interpreted. Listen, oh, listen carefully with me. Now, as it's moving, it needs to get to the word thalamus first. So thalamus will pick those sensory, because any information are coming from sense organs are majorly sensory informations. So the thalamus will pick out those what? Sensory impulses. So what picks sensory impulses from the spinal cord and lower brain, right? Spinal cord, lower brain, and then move them to the cerebrum. It is the word, the thalamus. Now, when the cerebrum has interpreted them, there is need for response to move out. What happens is this. So the relay motor impulses. Now, what need to relay it from the cerebrum to the spinal cord is still the what? The thalamus. So thalamus will pick sensory information, send it to the where? Cerebrum. Cerebrum will interpret it, right? And then the motor impulse, right? It needs to also be relayed back to the where? Spinal cord. And what we do that is the word thalamus. So thalamus is like the gateway. Are you seeing it now? You get that very fast with me. Exam questions on that thalamus, they don't really stress you about thalamus. No, thalamus, they don't really stress. But underneath the thalamus is hypothalamus. So when you hear hypothalamus, hypothalamus is underneath the what? The thalamus. Look at this very fast and pay attention. What should you know about hypothalamus? Number one, hypothalamus lies below the thalamus, underneath the thalamus. Hypo. Number two, hypothalamus is connected to the pituitary gland. Yes, so as we move to endocrinology, endocrine system, you will hear pituitary gland. Hypothalamus is the one that is connected to the pituitary gland. That's number two. Number three, hypothalamus contains reflex centers. What does it contain? Reflex centers that are linked to the autonomic nervous system. When I get to autonomic nervous system, I'll dwell on that. So your hypothalamus contains reflex centers that are linked to where? Autonomous nervous system or the autonomic nervous system. And then don't forget this quickly, the functions of the what? Hypothalamus. They will never play with this in exam condition. What are the functions of hypothalamus? Number one, hypothalamus regulates body temperature. Come on, body temperature. A. Hypothalamus. Body temperature, hypothalamus. Come on, hypothalamus, body temperature. So when you hear body temperature, what should come into your mind? Hypothalamus, hypothalamus, body temperature, hypothalamus, body temperature, hypothalamus, body temperature. So hypothalamus regulates body temperature. It regulates water balance. It's also in charge of sleep and what? Blood pressure. All of this, but the major one there, body temperature, hypothalamus. Number 2, very fast. Hypothalamus controls appetite. Appetite. There are some people that you love food, you too like food. You know, I've been shouting this. If you are too food full, if you are too food full, you can never be fruitful in this life. You can never be fruitful. You are too foodful. Some people too like food. Food, you and food every day. It's as though you people are covenant brothers and sisters. Let's go. Now, hypothalamus controls appetite. Hypothalamus. Are you seeing it now? It also controls what? Satiety. So the hunger and fullness center of the body is what? Hypothalamus. There are some people that if they are listen, there are people that when they start eating, they eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, though they don't know when they are satisfied. They just keep eating. Chuku, 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 chuku. Hypothalamus is probably faulty or malfunctioning or malfiring. Are you seeing it there? Now, so what controls appetite? Hypothalamus. What is the hunger or the satiety center of the body? Hypothalamus. Are you seeing it now? And then don't forget this number 3 very fast. Hypothalamus is the seat of aggression and anger. Aggression and anger, hypothalamus. And then number 4, it controls the pituitary gland. That's endocrine function. Anyway. And then number 5 very fast. It is involved in speech regulation. But major exam question. Body temperature, come on, hypothalamus. Look at it now, go the lie for you. In WAEC 2024, question 34, the same question that was asked in Jamb 1987, question 38, the question says, the center for controlling body temperature. Come on, hypothalamus. What is it? Hypothalamus. Option 1, D. You're out of there. You are not thinking it twice. These things must enter you. And again, like I've said, you know, we've said that the brain is divided into how many parts? 3 parts. 3 major parts. The forebrain, the midbrain, the hindbrain. The forebrain, how many are they? There are 4. Number 1 is called the what? The olfactory lobe, not optic lobe, olfactory, smell. Number 2 is called the cerebrum or the cerebral hemisphere. Number 3 is called the what? The thalamus. And then number 4 is the what? Hypothalamus. So we have dwelt on the 4 of them. But there is one part again that they don't play with. Pineal gland. What is it? Pineal gland. You can see the pineal gland from here very fast, right? Pineal gland. Oh, yes. So what is about the pineal gland that we should know? Number 1, pineal gland, right? Or the pineal body. Whether I call it pineal body or pineal gland is the same thing. Where is it located? In the forebrain. Where do you see it? Forebrain. That's why you see pineal gland. And you must note this, that the pineal gland, the main function is to secrete melatonin. What does it secrete? Melatonin. Come on, melatonin. What secretes melatonin is the what? The pineal gland or the pineal body. Now, what is melatonin? Melatonin is an hormone. So it has endocrine function. Yes, it is an hormone that regulates sleep and wake cycles as well as biological rhymes in the body. What regulates sleep and wake cycles in the body? Melatonin. Melatonin. Come on, melatonin. What secretes melatonin? Melatonin is secreted by the gland called the what? The pituitary gland, which is in the forebrain. Does it make sense? So what's the function of your melatonin? It regulates sleep and wake cycles or biological rhymes of the body. Can I shock you? Look at this question now with the one you. Why 2020 question 29? The question says the part of the brain that regulates biological cycles in humans. Is it the olfactory lobe? No. Is it the optic lobe? No. Is it the medulla oblongata? No. What is it? Pineal body option. What? This is the answer. You are out of the pineal body. It controls biological cycles, sleep and wake cycles or biological rhymes. That's it. You've seen it now. If you get that very fast with me, that means you understand this to the core. And please, you see, we're under your forebrain. We've just finished only forebrain. How many things we say they are there? 4. Number 1 is called the what? The olfactory lobe. Number 2 is called the what? The cerebrum or the cerebral hemisphere. Number 3 is called the what? The thalamus. And then number 4 is called the what? The hypothalamus. And in addition to that, we have what is called the what? The pineal what? Gland or the pineal what? Body. That's all. We're out of there. If you get this very fast with me, in the next class, we are going to be looking at everything about the what? The midbrain. And what do we have under the midbrain? Olfactory lobes. That's where we're going to start from. Are you seeing it now? Did you learn something from this class? You understand this to the core? I'll see you in the next class. And in that next class, we'll fire down. After that, we move again. But now, bye. See you there.